Shalom and welcome to Practical Spirituality here at Asia Torah in the old city of Jerusalem overlooking the Temple Mount. And please join my club, Yom Tov Media Club.com. Please go online and join that club. Let's get the word out there. So today we're going to talk a little bit about moods, which is kind of funny because I almost never have a low mood. And I kind of had a low mood yesterday, which is rare for me. And I don't think it was a true low mood, but it was definitely within the realm of a low mood. Certainly had all the symptoms. So what we're going to do is talk about moods. Moods are really, really important because the quality of your day is going to come out based on the mood. Doesn't matter, like you can have the best things happen to you in a low mood. It's not going to mean much. And in a great mood, you could have, sad things happen to you and you just totally miss that as well. So moods are really, really a big, big part of how life comes out. And therefore, we need a little bit of mastery when it comes to moods and how to deal with them. And obviously, the most important thing is going to be to identify moods. But there's other important things, like, for example, maintaining high moods. How do you maintain a high mood? I'll give you a couple secrets to that. And also, once you're in a low mood, if the low mood's locked in, well, how do you deal with the rest of that day and maybe even days? So how are you going to deal with that? But the most important thing to know about moods is that whenever you're in a low mood, it's an important thing that you do not try to solve any problems in a low mood. Okay? You have what's called an NAD. NAD stands for Non-Analysis Day. Because moods have a big impact on your thinking, and when you're in a low mood, you are in a non-resource day. Your job that day is to just get through it. Distract yourself, do what you got to do, listen to some music, go do some sports. I can tell you, while we're at it, I'll tell you a couple things to do in a low mood day.
What happens if you're most of the time in a low mood?
That will never happen to anybody who learns what I just taught you. Meaning, once you know about NADs, what's NAD stand for? Non-Analysis Day. Once you learn about NADs, you never, ever will have a low mood for more than a day or two. You'll be shocked. 97% of people who deal with depression just don't understand low moods, and they try to analyze their problems. And so it keeps them low mood. I'll show you it on a graphic. So if moods go up and down, as they do, moods are like this, up and down. And what happens is in a low mood, let's call this the low mood here. So in a low mood, what happens is analytical people, they try to, and especially, this is why Jews also make up over 40% of depressed people in the world, is all because of our special thing we have. What's the special thing we have? Everyone says we're very what? Analytical, excellent. Well, they say we're smart. But that's not the right word, because I know people who their smarts is just with a drill or a hammer or a nail. And I know other people's smarts is in the dancing. Like they just got some kind of amazing instinctual brilliance with dancing. I know other people with a paintbrush got brilliance. So there's a lot of different brilliance. The Jewish brilliance is in analysis. Analysis is our brilliance. We're really good at solving problems and creating problems also. If you think about the stock exchange and the hedge funds and all the leveraging of real estate and everything, that's always Jews back there making your house worth nothing in a day, So we're good at analyzing things. And what happens though when you're analyzing yourself in a low mood, are you in a high resource state or a low resource state in a low mood? You're in a very low resource state. So you try to solve a problem, let's say, because that's what we do in low moods. We try to solve our problems. Now, when you try to solve a problem in a low mood, it has babies. And so your one problem now became three. And what's the average Jew going to do now that he has three problems to solve? What's he going to do? He's going to try to solve the three problems. He's going to have 9. Your problems are being fruitful and multiplying. And this is all low mood stuff. And you all know what I'm talking about. You get in that low mood. You're like a bull in a china store, and you just break everything. And you'll literally let everything be ruined. At the end of my day yesterday, my wife came in the house and she came into our room, and I was laying there just going leave me alone. And she was she wanted to bring up several things that need fixing in life. And I was like, I mean, you could tell me that our house is going to get flattened in 30 seconds, and I'll just say, please bring me a helmet. You know, like I'm just going to sit here and die. You know, like this is not, I'm in a non-resource state, and I will not be solving any of our issues right now. Like, that's just not going to be going on right now. So someone in a low mood has what's called a non-analysis day. Non-analysis day. Okay? Non-analysis day. And what happens is when you're in a low mood, what you'll notice is if you try to analyze your thoughts in a low mood, you'll wind up here, which is called analysis paralysis. And this is all those depressed Jews out there that they just don't stop analyzing all their problems, and they, of course, they're in a non-resource state, because once you're stuck in analysis paralysis, it's going to be really bad news. And a low mood over time, what's that called? Depression. Depression is just a low mood over time. Is a low mood depression? Not at all. Low mood's just low mood. It's like, you know, everything works vibrationally. Even dogs have moods. Like everything. My voice right now is crossing the room in oscillating vibrations. Everything works that way. And so do we. We each have our own vibrational energy. Sometimes it's very high, and it comes with very resourceful thinking. Sometimes it's very low, and it comes with non-resource thinking. Those are days where it's more contractive, whereas there's more expansive days. God knows what he's doing with moods. But what happens, unfortunately, is so many people get stuck in this low mood day, and they miss all the upswings. They would have gone right up had they just had what's called a non-analysis day. In a non-analysis day, you literally do not analyze your moods. That's the most important thing in a low mood, is to not analyze your problems. Do not deal with any problems in a low mood day. The most important thing. And what you'll discover is within 24 hours, you'll be feeling fine. And you'll be shocked, and you're going to want to give me a big hug. You're going to say, Rabbi Glazer, you saved my life. Because my low moods were a lot longer than one day. And ever since you taught me about non-analysis days, I'm fine. And it takes one to know one. I was this guy. This was me. I'm a highly analytical person. And I destroyed myself with that analysis. I mean, I put myself as the target, and I just shot arrows at myself all day, trying to constantly fix stuff that I was not in the right resource state to be fixing. I had no business trying to fix my life up. And so I had I remember my very first non-analysis day. It was 26 years ago, something like that. And I'm someone who, I would go into depression for like months, 6 months, 8 months. I would have won most depressed guy at Aish award when I was in Bacher. I mean, I was really chronically depressed. And as soon as I learned about NADs, having a non-analysis day, that was the last time I was depressed in 26 years. And I went to everybody, every therapist, every rabbi. I got brachas here, prayed at the tombs. I did everything you gotta do. You know, anything you can do against depression, I tried it. Nothing worked, because my search engine, my analysis brain is crazy strong. I have a powerful Google search in my brain, but unfortunately, I did all the clicking against myself on my search engine, and wound up really dealing with depression for years. But I got out of it, Baruch Hashem, through the NADs. I remember that day, like, people were coming up to me. When you're depressed, everyone thinks they're your therapist, so they walk up to you, they're like, how are you? Not that they're listening, but they're like, everyone's your therapist. How are you today? You're just like, get out of my face, man. So people were walking up to me that day, and they're like, how are you? And I said, don't know. And they're like, what do you mean you don't know? I don't know. I'm in yeshiva. In yeshiva, you learn Gemara. I'm going to go open my Gemara and learn. One day later, I was fine, and I've been fine for 26 years. It's crazy. Like, it was that simple. And thank God I've been able to help a lot of people with that. But just to let you know, since you do got to get through that day, it's going to be a rough day, because every thought you're going to have is on a low mood day is going to be pretty harsh. So just to get through the day, I got a couple things you can do. One of them is to, well, I'll give you a bunch of things. One of them is that all those thoughts you're going to have all day in a low mood day, those nasty thoughts, you're going to have a couple thousand an hour. So it's not going to be an easy day because we all think thousands of thoughts an hour. It's involuntary. You know, unless you're a meditator, you're probably thinking involuntarily most of the day. Most of the content's pretty involuntary. So just like your heart beats and your lungs breathe, your brain thinks. So let's do a little exercise. Everyone take your right hand, raise your right hand. Okay, we're going to say hi to our heart. Say, hi heart. Everyone say, hi heart. Hi lungs. Hi thoughts. Not. Say not. Not going there. Let's try it again. Hi heart. Hi lungs. Hi thoughts. Not going there. Okay, your thoughts in a low mood day are just a train going to a bad neighborhood, man. Okay, you know where that train's going. And I mean, I imagine when you go to a subway system in LA or, I'm sorry, in New York or Europe, I imagine you actually look at the sign to see where the train's going before you get on. Yet, how many of us get on trains of thoughts that are leading to really bad neighborhoods, and we just jump right on that train, don't we? So you don't get on those trains of thoughts. In a low mood, you better be very careful with those trains. So you just let that thought come and go. So that's where we're going to do our next one. You guys ever looked at an internet site that has the news and they have the breaking news moving by? It moves by. It's called a scrolling marquee. Just kind of scrolling by, and it's just a headline. You can click on it, or you can just let it scroll by. Tell me, in a low mood, should you be clicking on your thoughts, or should you let them scroll by? Let them scroll by. Okay, everyone take your right hand up. Okay, move it to your left side of your forehead out in front and go, my thoughts are a scrolling marquee. We're going to do that 2 more times. Again, my thoughts are a scrolling marquee. 1 more time. My thoughts are a scrolling marquee. Now, I mean, you do see headlines sometimes where it's like, what? You know, but most of the time you're just like, duh, you know, like, what high school was shot up now? You know, like, next. So, I mean, we're pretty calloused. We're pretty calloused when it comes to headlines. You know, they don't touch us much. We get pretty cold-blooded when it comes to headlines. So I'm asking you to get a little more cold-blooded with your scrolling marquee when you're in a low mood. Is just let it scroll by. You're not clicking on any of those headlines. I'm not going for the full analysis of that story, for sure. That's just a headline. It's going to scroll by. Moving on to my next horrible thoughts. Now the in a low mood, there's other things you can do. One thing is alcohol. Drink alcohol in a low mood. Not more than 1 drink, meaning 1 glass of wine or 1 12-ounce beer or 1 shot of whiskey or something, whatever your favorite high alcohol, 40% alcohol is. So, but definitely drink. You want to start playing with your mind a bit, and alcohol does affect the brain. So definitely have a shot of, or the equivalent of 1 drink. Also, when you have your coffee that morning, you want to have a strong coffee. So go for like double. Coffee is a mood enhancer. So you want to double up on coffee for your morning coffee. Those who are addicted to coffee, I don't even know what to say to you. Things to do. So we mentioned alcohol, mentioned caffeine. Another thing is YouTube. Just kidding. Be careful with YouTube in low moods. You know, I mean, you could just turn it on and have that, you know, where it just keeps playing the next video, you know, and just like die there. So anyway, but what you do want to do is something you'd never want to do in a low mood, and that is cardiovascular sports. You must sweat. You must change your brain chemistry with some schwitzing. Yeah, you got to sweat, and which means you're going to have to go run a treadmill or get on a bike or go swim. You got to get your body moving, and that's the last thing most people would want to do in a low mood. People get very lethargic in a low mood, but you force yourself. I've forced myself. I mean, and in my sport's mountain biking and surfing. So surfing's a hassle. I got to go drive down there and stuff. But let's say there's no surf. So I found myself like literally pulling on, I wear full body armor. I find myself like forcing myself to just get my knee pads on. And because I don't want to ride, I don't want to do anything in a low mood. But I'm forcing myself. And then getting out there and start pedaling and start sweating and you know what? I come back better off in the end.